How do you identify your strengths and weaknesses at the start of the training year? In this video, I'm going to give you some tips. I'm following on from last week's video, which looked at pre-season training, where I went through various exercises and drills that you can use to get yourself ready for the forthcoming training year, i.e. winter training. Drills and exercises which will strengthen muscle and also keep you readied for the more dynamic, impactful work that's going to follow. In that video, I mentioned about identifying your strengths and weaknesses. So I'm going to give you some ideas now as to how you can identify them and what you can do to make them your strengths. The first example I'm going to give is the improvement of vertical velocity, getting height from the board in the long jump. If you're a type of jumper that goes flat across the takeoff, then you're going to need to improve your vertical velocity in order to increase your jump distance. Everything being equal, the faster you go across the board and the more vertical force you're able to impart on the takeoff, the further you're going to go. This is very much an overview. So what would your weaknesses be in that respect? Well, you could be lacking eccentric strength, the ability to withstand the force at the takeoff before you propel yourself forwards and up. So you would need to include in your training program for the forthcoming year lots of eccentric drills in the weights room and jumping wise, and very specific takeoff drills at the pit, which you may have seen in previous videos on the channel. For example, where you step down or run down off of the penultimate step from a slightly raised platform, which will accentuate the forces involved eccentrically and require greater power return. You may also have difficulty swinging the free leg up into the jump. Now that sets itself up from the penultimate step as well. So using mat drills and really working on other drills that set up the penultimate step can directly improve your ability to generate vertical from the board as well. So it's this kind of lateral thinking back from the problem, putting into place drills and conditioning exercises which are going to improve that aspect, i.e. in this case the takeoff, and therefore this informs your training plan and gives you the direction to go forwards with across the new training year. And if you do the drills and exercises regularly, then you're going to improve your ability to gain height from the board. It's of little use waiting until you start to jump before you realize that the problems you had last year are still the problems you have this year. So set the ball in motion. I'm now going to focus on how you can improve your top end speed. Let's fundamentally consider what improves speed. That's hip velocity, the ability to transfer the foot from the back of the body to the front of the hip as fast as possible. The quicker the thigh moves forwards in front of the hips, the more force, hammer blow there will be into the track surface too. So you get more reaction, more power going forwards across the surface. So you need to work on your hips in order to increase that power. Now that's something that you can do across the training year with various specific drills on the track and also to a lesser extent in the gym. Using potentiating means is another way to improve both the long jump takeoff and your sprint speed. So I've made some recent videos on the channel on how to do that. So please take a look at those. You can use the protocols and criteria that I identify in those videos as regular inclusions in your training across the forthcoming months. If you do that, then you'll give yourself every opportunity to improve, for example, as the examples are here, your speed and your vertical velocity takeoff power. I've recently pulled together a coach athlete video which talks about training planning at this time of the training year. I go into detail with my own training plan and showcase how I'm putting into place various elements of training that will bring about continual adaptation. I explain my training philosophy and how I fit everything together. So if you are interested in finding out more and adding more detail to what I've said in this video, go to the channel's homepage and click on the join button. Well, I hope this short video will help you if you're an athlete or a coach when it comes to identifying how to deal with specific strengths and weaknesses. If you identify a fault, you need to trace it back to what's needed to repair that fault, and it could be technical and it could be conditioning wise, but invariably it's going to be a combination of both. Work out what you need to do in order to improve and put into place the structures and training sessions that's going to bring about that change. If you've any specific questions on the subject matter of this video, or indeed any of my others, then do leave a comment in the section below. And as usual, thanks for watching, and do subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification icon so that you'll know when I upload new content. And please do give this video a thumbs up, a like. Freelap have just launched a new piece of kit. Now, this looks like the TX Junior Pros, the pyramids, yellow pyramids, that record the times as the athletes pass them. But what this one does, it actually gives you the command on your marks and sets the athlete off with a bang. So it emits the sounds through a speaker built into it. It gives you a 10-second lead in once you press the set button, and then randomly within I think a 2.5 second period, the gun will fire through the device to set you off. Now that triggers the system. So it's going to be a very accurate way to measure starts. If you want to find out more, then do get in contact with me.